Insider Ian Begley has given multiple New York Knicks trade updates involving Mitchell Robinson and the team's plans for him whether or not he can make it fully back, while also touching on many fans asking about the potential trading of Herb Jones and if the New York Knicks could get involved, and we're going to break it all down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as usual, and if you guys like the content, make sure to subscribe. 26% of viewers are subscribed. Let's try to get those numbers up. But let's jump into the video as it is already, guys. I know I make a ton of trade videos. I know I talk about this stuff a lot, but it is NBA trade season, and a lot of stuff is coming out. And Ian Begley, the Knicks key insider, has given a big look in to the New York Knicks plans for Mitchell Robinson with the trade. Now, yes, we're also going to talk about Herb Jones a bit because really there's some noise about it, and we just need to discuss that also. But jumping right into it, what Begley said about Mitchell Robinson, he said, if I had to guess, I'd guess that Mitchell Robinson makes it all the way back in his rehab to the point where New York feels confident about his ability to stay healthy, which is a very, very interesting sign. Now, here's the thing. Mitchell Robinson, when he's on the floor for the New York Knicks, they're a much different team. They're a much better team. Robinson helps the defense a ton by being one of the best rim protectors in basketball, meanwhile being great at getting steals, great at getting stops in general, and is the NBA's best offensive rebounder when he's healthy. Mitch does everything right for the New York Knicks. He does his job. He does it super well. And, I mean, look at that, man. It looks like that thing in SpongeBob with the inflated arms. I mean, that man is just straight up jacked. Mitchell Robinson is a force to be reckoned with when he's healthy. The problem is he's not often healthy. But he's taking his time to come back from an injury. Now, it was expected that he'd make his return sometime around January or December. Well, December's coming to an end, and there's no real sign of him, so he's most likely going to make it back by the end of January, if not very early February, because the New York Knicks are waiting for Mitchell Robinson to be fully healthy. Now, the fact that Begley thinks that Mitchell Robinson is going to come back healthy is a very positive sign. It means that Mitchell Robinson is on his way to getting back into game shape, which is very important. The Knicks need the healthy version of Mitchell Robinson, the one who puts up 6 points and 10 rebounds and 1.5 steals and blocks in his time when he's healthy. Now, we haven't seen a healthy Mitchell Robinson in over a year now because he's missed a ton of time with these surgeries, and the question is who Mitchell Robinson is going to be when he returns. But when he's fully healthy, he's an absolutely dominant force. Now, Robinson was asked by a fan when he's going to get back on the court, and he said that he's right there. He's getting close. Mitch has been hinting a lot that he's getting closer and closer to returning with his rehab. I mean, we know he's just an absolute stalwart for this team, an excellent defensive rating, second in Knicks history in blocked shots. Patrick Ewing has him by a mile, unsurprisingly, considering the years and years of Patrick Ewing that he was mainly healthy for. Only 2 players in the NBA have ever had 3+ offensive rebounds in their first 14 games of the season, and Mitchell Robinson is one of them, the other one being Dennis Rodman in 1993. Mitch did it 30 years later, and he totaled 5th all-time in offensive rebounds in those first 14 games. Mitchell Robinson is straight up phenomenal for the New York Knicks. There's no way around it. The man has been nothing short of dominant. He's been nothing short of just everything the Knicks could have possibly asked for him. And now what we see is a guy who clearly is going to continually have a positive impact on the Knicks as long as he's here. And that's the question, is how much longer Mitchell Robinson is going to be here. Now, Begley mentions that Robinson still has several hurdles to clear before he gets to the point of being able to play. And if the Knicks still aren't sure about his status in mid-January, one would assume that they would look seriously into the center market to try to see what they could do, who they could acquire. And that makes perfect sense for the New York Knicks. I mean, Leon Rose is going to be meticulous about this. If the Knicks don't trust that Mitchell Robinson will be fully healthy, they will make a trade for someone else. And that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to trade Mitchell Robinson. I actually don't think they're going to trade Mitchell Robinson under basically any circumstances. I think the New York Knicks are well aware that Mitchell Robinson's trade value is at a low point considering he hasn't played in a while, and the Knicks want to inflate Mitchell Robinson's trade value. Now, I truly do believe Mitchell Robinson is not long for the New York Knicks. I think we are going to see him get traded sometime around next summer, maybe during the following season, but I think Mitchell Robinson is a mortal lock to be on the team for the rest of this season. And then next season will be his contract year, and the New York Knicks will most likely not want to re-sign him, having to re-sign Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges also. they're probably understanding that Mitchell Robinson won't be here much longer. So that's why I assume they'll trade him next summer before he's staring down the barrel of an expiring deal, essentially. So he'll have a full year left. Teams will show more interest because it'll make it feel like even less of a rental than it could potentially be. So I do expect the Knicks to trade Mitchell Robinson probably around draft night of next year, which could be interesting to see if the Knicks want to jump into the first round and they use Mitchell Robinson to do so. That wouldn't be too shocking to me. But we are going to see how the New York Knicks play this out. Now, there's a handful of centers who are going to be on the market. My favorite is Nick Richards because Walker Kessler is not a real option. There's also a couple other guys, and we will do a video rounding up some of them at some point. And I know I do a lot of trade videos, but it's that time of year, guys. And we'll have more stuff coming out as well. I try to space them out between other content. But where the Knicks stand now, there are going to be a lot of centers who they have shown interest in already that they will go back to. So stay tuned for that because we'll definitely be talking about that in a bit. But also we have to talk about none other than one of the best defenders in basketball in Herb Jones. Fans have been fired up about the fact that the New Orleans Pelicans are terrible and that Herb Jones could be available because the New Orleans Pelicans are terrible. Now, Ian Begley was also asked about this, and let's take a look at what he had to say. Now, he said he doesn't think the Knicks have the assets to meet the price on Herb Jones that New Orleans values him out in this hypothetical scenario. And on top of that, he said that Herb Jones specifically, there's trade restrictions the Knicks face. They don't have first-round pick value to give up. They have a lot of seconds, but Begley would assume that the Knicks can't fit the asking price that New Orleans is asking for. And I think we should all be inclined to agree with that. Herb Jones is not going to get traded to the New York Knicks. It's just not something that we're going to see happen right now because the Knicks don't have the value to do so. Here's part of the reason why. When the Knicks traded for Mikal Bridges, trading 5 first-round picks and Bojan Bogdanovic in an expiring deal, it increased the value of Herb Jones as well, an elite defender who could shoot the ball and score and play multiple positions. Herb Jones' value went up. The Knicks have obviously had interest in Herb Jones, but so have the other 28 teams that don't have him. Herb Jones is someone who there's going to be trade offers for all season long with the way the Pelicans are playing, and the Pelicans will probably entertain some of them and maybe even send Herb Jones out somewhere if they get an offer they like, but it would cost multiple first-round picks, possibly more too. Herb Jones is valued very highly by the New Orleans Pelicans because they know they trust him, and they don't have too many players they could trust. Here's the thing, though. He's not having the greatest season in the world. Yes, his defense is as great as always. However, he's only averaging 11 points per game with 4 rebounds and 3 assists. Honestly, the 11 points is fine. It's kind of what you expect out of Herb. The fact is he's shooting only 42% from the field and 28% from 3 while only shooting 30% on corner 3 attempts. So you just look at Herb Jones and you see a player who has not been playing up to par of usual. But you also have to understand the New Orleans Pelicans are absolutely terrible this season, and Herb Jones is someone who's going to benefit off other players being good and being there and doing their jobs as well. Herb Jones is not a leading scorer. He's a leading defender who also could hit threes at a good rate, but this season when all the defense is focused on him because everyone else is injured, it's obviously made it harder for Herb Jones to score the ball efficiently. I don't think it's a long-term issue for Herb Jones. I think it's just everyone on the Pelicans is injured, and that's causing problems. But we could see his trade value take a slight dip because of that. However, it will not be in the Knicks' range, unfortunately. I feel the same way about Trey Murphy. I just don't see the Knicks being in range to get either of those two from New Orleans. But we could see the Knicks make a move. I think it's more likely when it comes to a backup forward or something that we would see that happen through free agency around March. And then when it comes to trades, we'd probably see more Mitchell Robinson insurance get picked up at the deadline. But I want to know what you guys think. How do you guys think the Knicks are going to approach trade season? Do you think Mitch will get traded this season? Let me know down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Knicks.